All right, college football week 11.
12.
Week 12. Week 12.
Yeah.
This week we got one more week after this. And then that's the end of the regular season minus Army Navy. And then championship week and bowl season. Crazy we've made it this far, this quickly.
We're alive.
Yeah, we're all above 500. Ben had the best record last week, 15-11. That might not. No, Ferry may have had a better winning percentage. He was 8-4-1. I don't know.
I thought I was 9-3-1.
You definitely had a better winning percentage.
I may have miscounted your plays, Ferry. Hold on.
Could have been.
Well, let's just give Ferry credit where it's due. Let's just give him that.
Let me count.
We like to root for the boys.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I only have 13 plays here.
Because I had Pitt, Michigan, Baylor, Houston.
Oh, Houston did cover?
Yeah. I just bitched because they were not, and then they did.
Yeah, they covered.
So I didn't even check the score. I just remember you sending that, so I counted as a loss for me too.
I have it.
Yeah, no, they covered.
Okay.
I was just bitching because they weren't, and then they did.
Okay, let me.
Barry's impatient.
Yeah, well, because if you let up a touchdown in Temple, then I automatically am going to lose my mind.
88. This is pro. 73. Oop. And then 79. All right. So Fair was 9-3-1. So yes, he definitively did the best last week. Ben went 15-11. I went 6-8. Fair was the only one who won his lock. Oklahoma State. Fair's now 88, 73-2 on the season. 54%, 4-6-1 on locks. That's 54%, give or take. I am 83, 79-7, 51%, 6-5 on locks. In my defense, my lock, Brendan Armstrong didn't play. Had he played, I think that game goes over. I'll stand by my pick. Ben, 128, 110, and 4, 54%, 5-7-1 on locks. So I think the biggest thing that we have to talk about from last week is Oklahoma finally getting, that Ohio State looks like the second best team in the country, I would say. I don't know. What say you, Ferry, from last week? What do you think about your biggest takeaways, everything like that?
Yeah, I mean, my winners and losers. I mean, my winners was basically Ohio State. I kind of had Baylor in there, but not. I don't know. But mainly Ohio State was definitely the winner. Like, I didn't think anyone really stood out in terms of winning. But my losers, obviously the Big 12 as a whole. I mean, Oklahoma losing, Texas with their loss. That's just more pain. But I also had Auburn as a loser because they are dead to me. Bo Nix stinks. I mean,
he's
yep. Yeah, he did get injured. Some things.
He got injured, but he still stinks. But I just, I hope Texas and Oklahoma enjoy going 6-6 every year in the future. So they're dead to me now. And yeah, I guess my football playoff would just be Georgia, Bama, Cincinnati, Ohio State, just out of respect.
Okay. The Ohio State getting respect still, or sorry, Alabama from you.
I just think that they're just not going to have them play back-to-back weeks. That's what my mindset is. Like, yeah, I think Bama's probably, if you want to put them at 3 or 4, but I'm just thinking more so of what the committee is going to do if they do somehow beat Georgia. Then they're not going to have Georgia and Bama play back-to-back weeks, in my opinion. So that's why I have them at 2/3.
Yes, probably. I would agree with you. Now, we're talking before the show. There was something I wanted to start with. I now remember because you said Alabama, Georgia. I sent to you guys yesterday the predictive line from Circus Sports. I don't really know exactly what they do, but it seems like they set spreads somehow, some way. If they played in the SEC Championship, Georgia 3-point favorite over Alabama, let's hypothetically handicap that game right now. What do you think, Ben?
Between like 3 and 6.
Did you listen to anything I just said?
Yeah, that's how I'd handicap it. Between 3 and 6 points, Georgia.
What side would you say you would pick Georgia?
Fuck Bama. That's why.
Okay, all right. I wasn't
You
sure.
think I
if
want
you-
to watch Bama make the playoffs again? No. Go
Okay.
Dogs.
Okay, fair. You're on the same side.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just hard to go against Georgia at this point. I mean, I don't know. I think Georgia -3 is fair.
Apologies. I thought you meant that if I was making a spread.
Oh no, then my bad for the miscommunication.
Thank you for apologizing. It is your fault.
Yeah. No, I agree. I would take Georgia -3 too. I think that a lot of people would bet Bama because I think you'd get a lot of the casual.
Yeah.
The
only thing that I
fans
think
coming in to
is to
say
make
like, "Oh,
concern
Bama's an underdog."
is the
But-
quarterback. Like if Stroud is playing or
Stroud?
JT Daniels.
What team are you talking about, Ferry?
Yeah. Because JT, I was thinking JT Barrett from Ohio State, Stroud, JT
Yeah.
Daniels. It was all these names start to blend up there. But yeah, I think just with the quarterback situation is the only downfall of Georgia right now, which isn't even as if
Right.
we're pulling for it.
Yeah, I think Stetson Bennett's gonna start the rest of the year. So it seems like
Right.
it seems like they're just gonna roll with him
Yeah.
until the wheels fall off. Which, if they get into a situation, which I think Bama will obviously be the first hurdle of it, but Ohio State's offense, like if
Mhm.
Bennett can't keep up, which then that would be when you have to go back to JT Daniels. But so far so good. But it will be an amazing game if we get that in the
Mhm.
national championship. Ben, who are your and the over under is 49.5, which I think is it feels low. Do they think Bama wouldn't score? Would it be old school?
Old school SEC football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't be a repeat of Georgia Florida last year where they got to like 100 points.
Yeah.
No, sadly. Georgia can't score that many against Bama, sadly. It would be fun if I watched that, though.
Yeah, it would be an awesome game. So, all right. So, Ben, your winners and losers.
Big 12's a loser outside of Kansas. Shout out Kansas.
Yeah, shout out Kansas.
Biggest win in program history, probably. Winners, Ohio State, Pitt, because they always win, and when they win, they always lose when they lose.
Right.
And Cincy, I guess, because they're still undefeated, they won't make the playoff, but
I think they will now.
So we'll see. They're not in the college football playoffs right now.
Would they get ranked?
5.
Oh, okay.
It came out today.
Yeah. So it's
What's a football left?
Georgia,
Georgia,
football,
Alabama,
Bama,
Oregon, Ohio State. Then
what's Notre Dame? Like 7, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you guys with the Big 12, and then Penn State. That loss kind of felt like the end of the James Franklin era.
Yeah. The final nail on the coffin.
Which will be interesting.
It's tough to see from an in-state rival how far they've fallen the last 2 years. It's tough.
Yeah.
I wish I could view them as an equal, but I can't. They're just
James Franklin, I think, is like 12-9 in his last 21 or something. Because he's 6-4 now. They finished 6-5 last year.
Mm-hmm.
They started out in 5, and I think they're not good.
And yet he's still going to get like a job, a USC type job.
Yeah, it's crazy. So those are my and then college football playoff right now. I would have it be Georgia, Cincinnati, Oregon, Ohio State, which we'd get Georgia, Ohio State first matchup.
I'm with it. I'm with that, Charles.
You're with it?
Yeah, I like it.
All right, let's get into some games here for the week. Have a couple big games. Have 5 here. First up, the ACC. So Ben, we'll start with you. Wake Forest going to Clemson. Clemson's a 4.5 point favorite. Over under is 56.5.
I've said for a while that ever since when Wake Forest was undefeated, I said that Wake Forest would probably lose at least 2 games. One to NC State, which they won, but also one to Clemson. I think a lot of squares are going to see the number and take Wake Forest. I think Clemson wins here by like a touchdown or 10 points. I think their defense can stop Wake Forest, and Wake Forest's defense isn't really good. They just kind of don't play that much because the offense just scores all the time. So I would lean Clemson. My pick's Clemson.
All right, and then Ferry.
I'm also taking Clemson. I mean, just I don't make the rules. It's system play. I don't like it, but it is what it is.
Fair enough. No, yeah, system play for me too. I wish it wasn't 4.5. I wish it was like 3, and it just stayed
If it was
there.
3, it'd be perfect.
I wish it was bigger.
You wish it was like 7.
Yeah.
Mm.
Then it would be a lot.
That scares me because that was Iowa State and Oklahoma State was 7 system play, and Iowa State won by like 4.
Yeah.
Crushed me. That was one of my worst weeks this year. All right. Next game here. Does it kind of feel like Clemson's getting their swagger back a little bit too? They're obviously not a great team.
I haven't been watching them. I haven't really been tuning in.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, because they beat UConn.
I mean, they went down 7-0.
What are we doing here?
I feel like they had after the Pitt game, like they've just been quietly like rolling along here. Like they've been
for 2 games, one against UConn.
Oh, has it only been 2 games? Oh,
yeah.
They.
So, like, what are we talking about?
Oh, it went
like,
Florida State, UConn.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Like, what are we talking about?
Well, I feel like I don't know. They just maybe just because we haven't shit on them in a while.
Maybe
people.
Well, they're just irrelevant to me. They're like State Penn. They're beneath me.
All right. Had they started their backup, do you think they would have beat you guys?
No.
But that's usually
DJ came back in.
That's usually what ACC programs do against you, though. If they start their backup, they'll win.
Right.
Okay. Michigan State at Ohio State. Ferry, we can start with you on this one. Ohio State's a 19-point favorite in Columbus. 66.5 is the total here.
You know, it's highly disrespectful, but I love it, to be honest. I'm gonna take Ohio State minus 19, laying it on them. I think everyone's gonna be on Michigan State, so I think that's probably what Vegas is thinking as well. I feel like Ohio State's always the weird 18, 18.5, 19, 19.5, all the just weird ass spreads. And you know, it's kind of like tradition. I mean, I've been saying it, you know, since the beginning of the season that Ohio State spread have always been, you know, everyone's go-to the past however many years. So, you know, why not keep going? It's a little chalky so far for me, but I'll take Ohio State minus 19 as well.
All right, and then Ben, I mean, this is your squad here.
Going
Sparty.
Okay.
What? Sparty, Kentucky, Ole Miss, and Pitt.
I mean, I don't bet on Kentucky and Michigan State that much. I get where you're coming from. Early season, when they were undefeated, I was betting on them a lot.
Yeah.
I actually have Ohio State minus 19, but as Ferry was talking right now, I was thinking through it. I actually disagree with him. I think everyone's going to be on Ohio State.
Really?
Yes, and I might flip right now to Michigan State
All
plus
right.
19. I think it's very crazy that they got the same points as Purdue, and Purdue was able to put up points against Ohio State. I'm thinking of switching to Michigan State plus 19. I am. That's my pick.
That's your pick. I like 3 different things in this game. I like Ohio State. That's like the third on the list, though, of things I like. I like Ohio State team total over 42.5. Because if Purdue lit them up, like they made Cade McNamara look like a Heisman candidate, and Cade McNamara stinks as quarterback. And CJ Stroud, I don't know if you saw, he is the official Heisman favorite now. I did place him plus 400 to win the Heisman a couple weeks back. So
I don't recognize him as the Heisman favorite.
And then the over 66.5 because I think Michigan State will be able to score. But Ohio State, this feels like a 50 burger, and it feels like the same game as last week.
I'm flipping to Ohio State minus 19. I'm flipping back.
There he is.
There we go.
He is come back.
I'll do Ohio State. I won't go crazy.
All right. We're on. Yeah, so I have 3 different things on this game now. Officially, not going to take the over, but I like the over. When I do end up betting it, I'll either do Ohio State's side or the total. But Ohio State team total is definitely going to be – this feels like a 50-burger game for them. All right, so next game here. Going to the Big 12. Iowa State at Oklahoma. Oklahoma obviously struggled a week ago. Basically, they got eliminated. Over under 61. Farrah, I'll start with you on this one since you're the Big 12 guy.
I mean, I don't know if they're fully eliminated. I mean, they could. You beat Oklahoma State again. Obviously, you got to pass Iowa State, and then you beat Oklahoma State again. I mean, still a one-loss Power 5 team.
It's true.
If you get some other dominoes to fall as well. Listen, I'm not trying to make the case that much for them, but like it's not impossible.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
But I don't like much of this game. But if I have to take anything, I'm going to take Oklahoma first half just because I think it's going to be like a pick 'em -1 or something like that, -1.5 maybe. So yeah, I'll take Oklahoma first half.
Okay, Ben.
I really don't have any opinions on this game. If I was betting it, I'd lean Iowa State. I actually think they can win, but I'm not going to bet this game. I don't have any strong feelings for it.
Yeah, I would probably lean Oklahoma. I want to see what else happens this week, but it feels like they could bounce back. Like they were just
Bounce
terrible.
back spot?
Yeah, like they were just so bad last week. I think they might have a little pride. And
I mean, Iowa State also lost too, so yeah.
That's true.
So
Iowa State
double
though,
bounce
like
back.
it's double bounce. Like this is Iowa State's big game for the year, but they're also 6-4. Like they're.
I mean, it just sucks because heading into the season, this was the Big 12 game that was circled. They were both top 10 teams that in the season, and now they're both just
Yeah, it sucks. I agree.
Typical Big 12 football.
Yeah. No, not typical Big 12 football.
My bad.
Yeah.
Not typical Big 12 football.
SMU at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's biggest test since the end of September. They are a 12-point favorite at home, over under 65, Ben.
I actually think SMU could win. Call me crazy. I'll take the points. That's a lot of points. I think they keep it close. This is SMU's really last game of the year because they're probably not going to win. I don't know what side of the conference they're on, but Houston, I think, has the tiebreaker over them. So I don't think they can make the conference they're in, the American Championship. But I think they can cover. I think they're actually really good, and I think they could win. So I'll take the points.
All right. Fair.
I mean, I'm too scared to take Cincinnati, but that still doesn't mean I want to take SMU. But so I'm just going to take the over 65. Like, why not?
That's fun.
Yeah, I like that fun.
Yeah, I kind of like the over too. I would probably. I'll take SMU. I don't like it, but because I feel like it's like Cincinnati. Have they just been sleepwalking kind of through these games and just doing enough to get double-digit wins and like leave, and then when they have a big game, they get up for it? Like, I
don't think they view this as a big game.
That's true. They could not. But it would be. It's like this is the biggest game.
That's why I think it's a trap.
That makes sense. I'll stay on SMU with you, Ben.
Our minds are in a blender right now.
I'll trust you on this one, Ben. Then Arkansas at Alabama. Alabama's a 20.5 point
favorite.
We're
going to take the same thing this game, I assume.
Over under is 50.
I don't know why we put it on this.
Fair.
Who are you taking, Fair?
Sorry on this one.
I'm walk chalk Jayhawk with this. I'll chalk this for these big games. Bama minus 20.5.
I'm also taking Bama minus 20.5.
Yeah, I like Bama here too.
Okay.
I like Bama here too a lot.
What loser is going to pick Arkansas plus 20.5?
Yeah, they're
outside the state of Arkansas. Outside of Bill Clinton.
They're not very good. They're ranked because they beat Texas early before everyone realized Texas wasn't good.
Yeah,
and A&M.
Yeah,
but like they own the state of Texas. But what does that say?
Yeah,
Texas got to get their affairs in order.
Well, it's because Jerry World fixed that game because it's at Jerry World. So I mean,
right, exactly. Okay, so cards. Fair, you can start.
Yeah, you see, my lock of the week kind of goes with a few other picks, so I don't know how I'm going to say this.
All right, do you want to go last? Then you can do it all at once.
Yeah, if that's all right.
That's fine.
What
Yeah,
does that
it's-
even mean?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
You'll
but-
see what I mean.
Okay.
They-
If this team loses, this is my lock. But if they win, this one's my lock. Is that the logic?
It's a martingale.
No,
Block.
no. It's a weird. You're gonna shit on it. Just give me
I'm
a
gonna
second.
shit on it.
Okay.
Okay, so my card. They're playing right now, I believe, Western Michigan -6 at Eastern Michigan. If they don't cover, I'm taking it off my card. Duke plus 19.5 at home against Louisville. La Tech, shout out Ferry in West Virginia, -16.5 versus Southern Miss. Houston -9.5 versus Memphis. San Diego State -11 at UNLV. UNLV got a big win playing Hawaii at home. I think they're going to get killed this game because they're not very good. That was the one win of the season. Army -37.5 versus UMass. Army, when they play these shitty teams, they kick the shit out of them and they score a lot. So I'll go with Army. Shout out the troops. Shout out Billy Football. Kent State -13.5 at Akron. Kent State I think they whooped somebody on a weekday last week. Long week to prepare for this shitty Akron team. They're just going to try to get there, kick the shit out of them, and leave. Kent State -13.5. Ohio State -19 versus Michigan State, as we discussed before. Clemson -4.5 versus Wake Forest. Tulane -6 at home in the disaster zone versus South Florida. Pitt -14.5 versus Virginia. I don't even like this game at all, but I'm going to add it. Hail to Pitt. Wisconsin -9 versus Nebraska. This was almost my lock. Alabama -21. I have them 21-20.5. Doesn't matter. At Arkansas, I think that's easy. UCF -30.5 versus UConn at home. UConn stinks. The only reason they covered against Clemson was because they scored on the first play.
Civil conflict.
I'm switching my pick. UConn.
It is- they don't get to say whether they're our rivals or not.
Yeah,
Said
that's
Scott
true.
Frost.
I'm betting on UConn two weeks in a row. UConn in a close game. 30 is
Yep.
way too many points.
It
UCLA
means too much. The civil
UCLA
conflict means
minus
too much for it to be a blowout.
UCLA -3 at USC. I think UCLA is just the better team. Chip Kelly will get the boys up. Kansas State Pick'em versus Baylor. I'm rolling the home team.
I like
Seems
it
like a
lot.
system type play. Close. I'll go Kansas State. Utah -3 versus Oregon. Not technically a system play. This is a Bunman system play. Utah -3 versus Oregon. Hawaii +2.5 on the island. The Dogs take them out right versus Colorado State. They lost one to UNLV. Last week, they're back in their time zone. They'll be ready to play.
I like it a lot,
And
but I'm
then-
adding it.
And then SMU +12 at Cincinnati.
All right. My card is short card. Utah -3. I've been trying to guess Oregon's next loss all season, so I'm going to do it again. Utah -3. Purdue -11 at Northwestern. Northwestern's really bad. Purdue feels like a good bounce back for them. Ohio State -19. Ohio State team total over 42.5. Notre Dame -17 against Georgia Tech. I will be there, so I'm definitely betting it. And Notre Dame should just kill this team. The Georgia Tech's not very good. Kansas State +1 at home. Letdown spot for Baylor. That was the biggest one they've had since like RG3 was there. Army -37.5 for all the reasons Ben said. Hawaii +2.5 I just added. And Penn State -17.5 against Rutgers. I think Rutgers is going to really struggle to score. Their offense is atrocious.
They killed Indiana last week.
Yeah, but Indiana is really bad. Penn State shut out Indiana.
Oh my God, you got
Transitive
whatever.
property of football.
Okay, whatever.
Well, you've never bet on Penn State. Like you bet against Penn State religiously.
I didn't bet against them this week.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
Yet.
I'm not going to. I'm not even going to watch the game. They don't concern me.
Do you think it's a Greg Schiano?
I've got
revenge game
bigger
from
things to worry about than if State Penn covers any week anymore.
Do you think
Got
it's a
bigger
Greg?
fish to fry.
do
I'm
you
trying
think
to
it's
make the college football playoff. Do you
think
know?
it's
Do you know what that feels like, St. Joe's? You too.
Whoa.
Well, Ferry has West Virginia. But-
whoa. Jeez.
Notre Dame's made it twice.
Like I've got bigger fish to fry than some fucking State Penn school and butt fuck nowhere. I'm not worried about that.
Do you think maybe it's a revenge game for Greg Schiano because he was there during the Paterno era?
maybe trying to get justice. For
He was
people. He's the people's coach. He's trying to win at Penn State for the people.
He's singing them a song in State College.
He is. All right, Ferry. I'm excited to hear what your locks are.
Well, okay. I already gave out my Clemson system play, Ohio State, Oklahoma first half, Cincinnati over 65, Bama 20.5. I like the under at a principal for Nebraska, Wisconsin under 42. Give me Army minus 37. Gianna will be in attendance. Shout out Gianna.
Oh, really?
So give me Army. Yep. Just give me
That's
Army
awesome.
minus 37 against UMass. Give me over 66 in the Pitt Virginia game. You know, obviously, I don't need to tell Ben these two teams.
Well, Brandon Armstrong might not play. That's why I think Pitt's a 13.5 or 14.5 point.
Yeah,
favorite.
it's scary.
Because they shouldn't be that big of a favorite. I think it's going to change come game time. Because if he plays, they shouldn't be a 14-point favorite.
Gets announced, I will make sure that's either added or not added.
Right.
I'm also with Kansas State at home. Pick them because of the Bears letdown spot, and I just think that weird 5:30 kickoff time is kind of weird. If it was 7:30 prime time, just lock it. It would be probably the lock. But 5:30, still confident enough. It'll be nighttime by second half at least. Virginia Tech +8 out of principal for the kids playing for their interim coach. I would also add Washington, but I don't have enough faith in them to cover 6.5. I think it is against Colorado. They have a good defense-ish somewhat. Otherwise, I would take Washington, but I'm not. And then here come my locks. I've been if you listen back to the last 2 weeks, I have been talking about the Oregon-Utah game for the last 2-3 weeks. Utah is my lock, -3. But because I love them so freaking much, I'm also adding Utah State -5.5 and BYU -20. I think the whole state is just going to be riding.
Your lock is Utah, not the college, the state.
Entire state.
Like my
The
actual
Utah
lock,
parlay.
my actual lock is Utah against Oregon. It's fuck Oregon.
Well, you can have all three fail because it's fun.
Yes, a lock parlay. I mean, but for the
Utah.
sake of
Your
my
lock
pick,
is Utah.
yes, that is for like the I guess the picks. But
your lock is Utah minus
Three.
points.
Yes, it doesn't even matter what it is. They're gonna win no matter what. But because I like them so much, it trickles down to Utah State -5.5 and BYU -20. These kids are soaking this weekend. The entire state.
Oh my
The
god.
entire state is going to be living because of all. They're going to be feeling all the high vibes in Utah.
The parlay is going to be juiced this week. It's going to have 5 games.
It's going to be insane.
Do the Jazz play Saturday and is Zach Wilson back Sunday?
I would join in on the Jazz as well. I mean, they play the Sixers tonight, but joining the vibes aren't there yet. It's only Tuesday. But
Okay.
Saturday, if they do play Saturday, even Friday, if they play Friday night, I'll take them then too.
All right. My lock Clemson -4.5. This is as system play as it gets. I could see, just as Ben said earlier, I could see 7 to 10 point win. Wake Forest going to Death Valley. This is one of their biggest games, and for these kids and for Wake Forest in some time now. And Dad was going to have the boys ready because this can really, for a season that's just been mostly such a waste for them, they can have a huge win at home and ruin someone else's season in conference. They'll be ready to play. James Skalski.
Like it.
My lock. Last couple locks have been kind of getting not killed, but they've just been losing really badly, like Boise State last week. So this week I'm going to go back to my roots, ACC. I get a lot of these really dumb ACC games right for some reason. I'm going to go Boston College -2 at home against Florida State. Florida State got a big win last year. I just think Boston College is a better team. They're low in the ACC standings because they lost a lot of early ACC games, but I think they're going to inch their way up in these last 2 weeks. They have a lot of wins out of conference. I just think they're the better team at home. I'll roll with Boston College -2.
I like that a lot. I'm going to add that. And Phil Jerkovic's back.
Oh, sick. I love it.
So BC -2.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Love it. All right. Anything else?
Go Pitt.
Who's your Heisman, Ferry? if you had a vote today.
I guess Stroud. I mean, I
Oh.
think it's just, yeah.
You're a
Sorry.
loser, you know that?
What? You act like I like Pitt. You know I'm supposed to hate Pitt. You know this, right? I do it out of respect to you to not be as hateful. Okay.
Oh my God.
I can't help
Fatty.
that I refuse to even mention my team playing
Ugh.
Texas this week. I can't even. I didn't even want to discuss that.
Oh, they're
disgusting
playing
matchup.
Texas.
Yeah, in Morgan. That's disgusting.
You're gonna bet
Oh
the
my
game?
God.
No, I mean, yeah, but like, I hate myself every week because of it.
This is
My
a-
Heisman's Kenny Pickett, unbiasedly,
yeah. The
and then
That's
Kenneth
sad.
Walker is number 2.
It's sad that I guess this week it'll be back to Ben's thing. I guess it'll probably be decided this week when Stroud lights up that defense and Kenneth Walker.
Well, or against Michigan.
Yeah, if Stroud sucks against Michigan, he might lose. Bryce Young could still win it.
Kenny could still win it.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
if,
think Kenny could.
if Bryce
to be
Young
honest
beats
with you.
Georgia, like he's got it. Like, I'm sorry, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh
I
well,
would agree with
yeah.
that.
He's not
Yeah.
gonna beat Georgia though.
Just saying. Just
So
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, I think you're right. Unless yeah, probably because it would be on Bryce Young for them beating Georgia.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. He's gonna have to beat them.
It is sad seeing Texas, West Virginia, knowing that we just had Will Greer versus Sam Ellinger like 2 years ago,
It
3 years
stinks.
ago.
It's and this is the one week of the year I do this. You know, this is the only week of the year. Yep. Yes, sir.
That'll be clipped. Horns down. All right. That's our show. For the lock parlay is gonna be like plus 15
million. It's plus $1 billion. Take
Yeah.
it.
Yes, sir.
It's the state of Utah plus Boston College and Clemson.
Yep.
All East and West Coast
Oh,
action.
ACC. Yeah, me and Ben have the ACC, and Ferry has Utah.
Yes, sir.